Today I'm going to be using these tag cutouts. They measure 14 by 8 inches, and these exact ones can be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. You can really use any tag of your choice, and I'm going to start by priming them with some Wise Owl white primer, and I'm going to allow that to fully dry. I have my Farm Animals tissue paper from Recycled. This is also found on our webpage, and I'm going to be using the 2 chickens. So I cut the cows off, and I'm just going to cut them down the middle to separate each chicken. Now I'm going to apply 1 hour enamel clear on top of my primer once the primer is fully dry. I like to do it in sections, so I did the top half of my tag. I'm going to lay the tissue paper down, and then I'm going to do the bottom portion of my tag. Again, I'm using the Wise Owl 1 hour enamel clear. You can also use the Wise Owl varnish. And I'm just going to make sure my tissue paper is adhered to the tag. I'm going to lay a piece of saran wrap, and then I'm going to use my brayer to rub on top of the tissue paper. This just helps adhere the tissue paper and release any bubbles and get rid of any wrinkling. Now, following that step, you're then going to apply the 1 hour enamel clear or the varnish, whichever you are using, and you're going to apply that on top of the tissue paper. Now, you can use a razor blade to remove the excess edging. Just be careful that you're not going to tear the tissue paper, as this is still wet when I'm removing it with the razor blade. Now, for my second tag, I'm going to use the second chicken, and I'm going to apply it the same exact way I did the first one, so I'm not going to show you every single step. But once that was fully dry, another option of removing the excess around the tag is using a sanding block, and you're just going to sand in a downward motion, and you're just going to remove that excess tissue paper. It does remove pretty easily. And another quick tip: if you have a little wrinkling before your project dries, try not to mess with it too much. As it dries, some of the wrinkles will come out. Once everything is fully dry, I'm then going to glue one tag on top of the other. I'm kind of gluing mine off on an angle, and I don't want them hanging evenly. Next, I have some wood letters. I get these from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to spell out the words Rise and Shine. I'm going to take my black Krylon Shortcut spray paint, and I'm just going to spray paint those black. And I'll just set that aside to dry. I have this burlap bow, and it was a pre-made bow. I'm going to take some jute, and I'm just going to wrap it around the center of the bow. And I'm just hot gluing the ends down to just hold that in place. And I'll cut off the excess jute. Next, I'm going to take some jute. I'm going to take 2 pieces. I'm going to string one through each hole, and then I'm going to tie them at the top to meet. Now, the one on the left side is going to be a little shorter than the one on the right side, since the right tag is hanging a little lower. Once everything was tied together, I have a small piece of jute that I'm just going to tie, and this is going to be the hanger. When I'm all finished with my project, I will have something to hang it from, and I'm going to glue the bow to the top of the jute here. Now, I found this little garland in my craft stash. I'm going to remove some of the beads, and it has a little circle at the end that just says home, and I just thought this would just add something to the project. You can totally skip this step if you do not have this piece of garland. I believe I got it from Dollar General, and I just glued that in the center so that it dangles in between the bow. Once my wood letters had fully dry, I'm going to glue them on the bottom of my tags. I'm going to put the word Rise on the left side and the word Shine on the right side. And there you go. Now you have this really cute chicken door hanger. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Paint products, tissue paper, transfers, and mesh stencils can all be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you can also check out other tutorials over on our webpage. Have a great day.